Now, your forecast first, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
It's been a really nice day today, but we've seen some clouds increasing across central Illinois as a couple of showers and even some storms are coming into the parts of Livingston County as well as Ford County. So look at those here in a moment. Otherwise, our temperatures are warm, coming in at 84 in Champaign as well as in Danville, as well as in Springfield, 85 in Decatur, and 86 in Lincoln. And you can see some of those clouds right now from Champaign and Urbana on our Bratcher weather camera on our Roofing Dog iNet. Winds are out of the still southwest direction right now, up to around 5 to 15 miles per hour. And to the backyard forecast, this evening does have some more clouds and a few spotty showers. But otherwise, though, things are pretty warm, and we've got a lot of sunshine for the week. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now, from WCIA 3 News.
Don't care no more about life.
A string of shootings left one person dead this morning. How people in that community are now calling for peace.
It's not something a parent wants to go through, ever.
Plus, an 18-year-old bicyclist died after being hit by a car over the weekend. How the community is responding to his death. And soon, saliva testing could become more widespread. Why you won't see it at Champaign's community testing site for now.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 5.
It's a terrible thing. It's an ongoing thing. It should be stopped.
Neighbors are asking for peace after a string of shootings in Decatur this morning. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini. The first happened around 9:20 this morning near East Walnut and North Lober Streets. A man died. Later, there were reports of gunfire at MLK and Grand and MLK and Garfield. Around 10:30, a street crimes detective near Jasper and Wood saw people in a small gold car shooting at another car. While officers investigated those incidents, there were more calls about gunfire in the area of 20th and Prairie. WCIA 3's Jamie Mays joins us now. So, Jamie, you spoke to neighbors. What are they telling you tonight?
Right, Paul. The neighbors I spoke to say what happened in their neighborhood was just sad, and they want the violence to end. Police say they responded to a call of shots fired near 1300 East Walnut with a person shot inside a car. He died. Patrol officers, detectives, Macon County Sheriff's deputies, and Decatur Park police officers had to respond to the area to calm a large, unruly crowd. As they were responding to that call, they got a report of shots fired at MLK and Grand and MLK and Garfield. After that, 2 people went to the hospital with non-life-threatening gunshot wounds. Police say neither of them would cooperate with the investigation. Later, a street crimes detective saw people in a gold car shooting at another car near Jasper and Wood Streets. The car left the scene going over 90 miles per hour. Shortly after, a woman was shot during that incident. She went to the hospital with a non-life-threatening gunshot wound to her leg. People who live in Decatur say they want people to choose peace.
I don't care no more about life. Nothing, no reason to live. And the young people know they like their no role model. That's the main problem right there.
And there's still more. While police were investigating those other incidents, there were more calls about shots fired near 20th and Prairie. 2 dark-colored cars were seen shooting at each other. Police say they are still investigating. They want anyone with information to contact them. Live in the newsroom, Jamie Mays, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
All right, Jamie, thanks. Now, if those cross streets of Walnut and Lober sound familiar, that's because there was another shooting that happened there this year. Last month, a 17-year-old was shot in the leg near that same intersection. The teenager was taken to the hospital to be treated. Danville police are investigating 2 shootings over the weekend. The first happened Saturday just before midnight. 3 people were shot near the corner of Pennsylvania Avenue and William Street. A 26-year-old man was hit in the back and the arm. A 52-year-old woman was shot, and a 21-year-old woman was hit in the hand. Police responded to another shooting just after 1 Sunday morning. That was near College and South Street. Around the same time, a 21-year-old gunshot victim arrived at the hospital. She was shot in the chest. It's unclear whether the shootings are related. No word on any of the victims' conditions. We have a follow-up now on the 18-year-old who died while riding his bike on Highway 136. Investigators say Matthew Carell and a 15-year-old were riding their bikes when they were hit from behind. Carell attended Rantoul High School. Principal Todd Wilson says they'll be offering counseling services to students. Carell lived in Gifford, and one person there says his death made him think, what if that was me?
I actually talked to my mom about this, and she was very upset thinking about what if it was us. And I know it's a very hard thing to go through. and it's not something a parent wants to go through, ever.
No charges have been filed, but police are investigating. Police are also investigating after a body was found in Clay County. 29-year-old Austin Woods of Edgewood was discovered on a country road in Mason, which is west of Route 45. An autopsy is scheduled. State police and the Clay County Sheriff's Office are investigating. Let's take a look now at the latest coronavirus numbers from across the state. One area that's continuing to see an increase in cases is the Metro East region. That's the Illinois side of the St. Louis area. The governor's putting new restrictions there starting tomorrow. That includes closing bars and restaurants by 11 p.m. and limiting meetings and social events to 25 people. There are more than 1,700 new cases in the state. That brings the total number of infections diagnosed in Illinois to more than 207,000. 12 more people have died. There are now more than 7,700 COVID-related deaths in the state. We've told you about the saliva testing at the U of I. That same test could be a possibility for the entire community in a few weeks. WCIA3's Courtney Bunting is live outside the Marketplace Mall's testing site. So, Courtney, we said in a few weeks. What's the holdup there?
Well, Paul, they're waiting on approval from the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. Now, that saliva test has, however, already received approval from IDPH. But until it gets approval from the FDA, it cannot be used at Marketplace here or at Carl or any other healthcare facility. All of these places are still continuing to do nasal swabs. Now, if you're tested somewhere where there is a nasal swab option only, you'll wait anywhere from 24 hours to 7 days for results. But if they offered saliva testing, you could hear back within hours.
The saliva sample that the university is doing is processing much quicker than the nasal, because the method that they are utilizing pretty much, eliminates the need for virus extraction and deactivation.
Now, what that means is the saliva test doesn't need as much equipment either, so there's less reliance on supplies that are often running short. Public health officials also say the nasal swab and saliva tests have about the same accuracy. Now, as far as when those tests, the saliva testing could come here specifically to Marketplace. Again, we're waiting on that FDA approval. The university did submit that, so it could take a couple weeks for them to hear back. Still, there's no guarantee it could come here for sure. However, Champaign County public health leaders say there is a strong possibility. Reporting live in Champaign, Courtney Bunting, WCIA3, your local news leader.
Well, I know you will let us know if and when it does. Courtney, thanks. If you are tested at Marketplace Mall, it'll take 24 to 48 hours for you to hear back if you have a positive result. If you have a negative test result, it can take up to a week. U of I saliva testing is only available for people with a university ID. The U of I has released its move-in week schedule, and as expected, it does look different this year. Students moving in this fall have to reserve a time slot online. First-year students are encouraged to select a slot on or before Thursday. That's so they can take part in Welcome Week events. Returning students are encouraged to move in between Friday and Sunday. To see that full schedule, you can head to WCIA.com. Here's an update now. The Macon County Sheriff's race recount is headed to trial. It could be October before things get started. Right now, attorneys for challenger Jim Root and Sheriff Tony Brown are gathering evidence. They'll present their findings on the disputed ballots in court in Champaign. Judge Anna Benjamin will oversee that trial. In 2018, Root lost the race by 1 vote. Brown is set to be sheriff until 2022. Unless he loses in this recount, then Root would serve the remainder of that term. Parents now have a new resource as kids head back to school. How a new program is helping families with remote learning. Plus this.
Oh, I saved everybody's life.
A family in Danville is picking up the pieces after losing their home in a fire. You'll meet that young hero who made sure no lives were lost that day.